What's going on, runners? Welcome back to the run. Thank you guys for tuning in once again. Um, Listen, I want to get right into it because I got two things I really want to talk about, and one is really important and it concerns my job and the future of uh, this industry. But first, I want to hit you guys with a thought experiment, right? Now, remember the last video I talked about, like people getting fake CDLs and stuff like that? Think about this. And you guys are free to disagree with me if you want, but what's going to happen if people keep popping up with these fake CDLs from these schools, right? You're going to keep shutting them down. Maybe some of these schools are getting shut down, maybe they're not. People are leaving and not being held accountable. What I think should happen, and what I think is going to happen, it's going to be one of those situations to where in order to get your CDL, you're going to have to go to a mega carrier in some places. You're going to have to go through a night of Swift and cut your teeth in the mega carrier realm before you get out into big boy CDL land. Because remember, I said Swift may go to, what did I say, 28 months or 26 months instead of 12 months for their contract. I'm thinking that would be the next logical step if this stupid crap keeps happening, because at least then, because if you think about it, I think everybody that goes to CDL schools outside the mega carriers have to have some sort of like driving time. Like you have to have a certain amount of driving time during the day and the night. Whereas I know with Swift, you didn't have to because they had a structured mentor program, and the way that their academy was set up, they didn't need that. Yes, you still had to drive, but you didn't have to drive X amount of hours, because as soon as you left, you got on your mentor's truck and then you drove for pretty much 30 days. So what I'm thinking is that, and I'm not opposed to this idea. I know some of you guys are going to roast me in the comments, and that's fine. But I think what should happen, or what's probably going to happen, is you're going to go to one of these mega carriers. It's going to be a Knight, a Swift, JB Hunt, CRST, wherever. You're going to go there and you're going to get your CDL from there. And then you're going to have to cut your teeth for a year with them, because they already have established training programs in place to where you have to learn. You have to be on a trainer's truck for 30 days. Schneider, I think it's 30 days with Schneider too, maybe 2 weeks, I don't know. But then that's where you actually get your experience, because even once you get off your trainer's truck, you're still going to make mistakes. You're still learning the ropes. You're still learning how to be a trucker. Now, on the flip side, a lot of you guys are going to be mad because if you go to one of these companies, you're going to have a manual restriction. So you're not going to be able to drive stick shift. So, I mean, I haven't had the need to drive a stick shift in the trucking world. Some people still have manuals, so I don't know. But I think that won't be a bad idea. So tell me what you guys think in the comments and we can discuss it further, because that's the only way that you're going to avoid people getting fake CDLs and fake sign-offs and all this stuff like that, because you're going to have to go through a structured program. And it won't just be through, it won't be just through some mom and pop truck company that just popped up because they bought a truck. It's either going to be through a community college or it's going to be through one of the mega carriers. So tell me what you think in the comments below. Now, for the bigger news that I have for you guys. So, as you know, I'm a trash truck driver for Republic Services. And currently, I think in Boston, Republic Services is on strike. The Teamsters Union, they're with the Teamsters Union because they're not getting the wages that they feel that they deserve. Another company, actually the city of Philadelphia, they're on strike because they want more money. And I believe waste collection is one of those jobs that deserve a decent wage, because these people aren't doing the cleanest of jobs. It's the 5th most dangerous job that you could do. And a lot of these companies, you're not getting paid really, really well to do this job. Like the other day, I was cleaning out the truck and there were rats in the back of my truck. I've seen needles. There's been homeless people that have been in cans or trash bins. Some people's trucks catch on fire because people are dumping batteries. So there's a lot of things that are really dangerous in this job. Like, we have to back up constantly, so there's a risk of hitting somebody or somebody hitting us. Anything can happen when you're trying to dump these cans. You can foot, leg, back, shoulder injuries are very, very common. We just had a guy tear his meniscus trying to put a can back. So we have a very dangerous job. And yes, there are a lot of people that want to get into waste management, because a lot of companies pay really well, but not across the board, especially ones that either control the city or have a bigger contract with the city or whatever the case is. And my opinion of this is, because you think about it, right? Police, you're always going to need police. You're always going to need medical. You're always going to need transportation and power. And somebody's got to take away the trash so you can live a civilized life. Why is the trash man making $28 an hour or $25 an hour, but a secretary at ABC company is making $35? And most of the time they're just sending emails. And I'm not dogging on secretaries. I'm throwing that out there. I'm not saying that we got to be the richest people in the city, because at one point, I think in New York, like, the trash dudes were making bank. I don't know if that's the thing now. I think that may have been when, like, the mobs controlled it or something like that. But, like, the trash people were making bank, and it was a lucrative. You could join at 18. By the time you retired, you worked up your pension. You made a great life for yourself. You made a great life for your family. You could put kids through college. Your wife didn't have to work, or your husband, doesn't have to work. You can go on vacations, all those things. Now, in certain companies, you can't do that. So them going on strike just made me think of that. And I'm not saying I hate my company at all. I don't. I love my job. Do I wish we got paid more? Absolutely. I wish we got paid more. And people always say that, oh, we should get paid more for what we do. We should get paid more for what we do in every career field. But you got to kind of assess what your career field entails to want to get paid extra. Ask any trash person you know. They look like they're out there having fun. Don't get me wrong. But they've been up since 2 o'clock in the morning. They've been dealing with raccoons, possums, angry customers, trash cans that are all messed up that you still got to dump. They're super heavy. Their bags are broken. They're dealing with all the mess that you threw away. And they can barely afford the rent of their apartment. And that's just the ones with no real bills. And I've looked at it. There's people with no real bills that are struggling, especially in locales like mine. I'm in Southern California. I'm in San Diego. What about the people in LA? What about the people in Florida? What about the people in Texas? Now, I know in Boston and like middle America, $50,000, $60,000 a year is good money, right? But when you look at places like me, it's not that great of money. Like, that's almost poverty in some places when your rent is $2,200 for a 1-bedroom, no washer and dryer, or your a studio is like $2,000, again with no washer and dryer, in a shitty neighborhood. So this isn't a video saying I'm for unions or I'm against unions or I'm for strikes or I'm against strikes, but I just want people to think about what they're really asking for. They're not asking for, at least from what I've read, they're not asking for a $100,000 a year career. Now, they want to build up to that, I'm sure, but they're not asking for that right away. Nobody is. They just want to be paid fair market wages every year so they could live, to do the job that a lot of people don't want to do, and it's a very selective and prideful job to do. A lot of people take pride in this job. I have fun at this job. I love being out there. I just had kids watch me dump trash cans in their apartment complex, and they were clapping for me, and they brought us sodas and protein bars. I mean, they're the only ones that really love us. Once they get past like the age of 11, they really don't care about us. But so just think about that. You can think about that. I've been thinking about it a lot. Before you get into these careers, make sure your finances are in order, and make sure you have a realistic expectation of what you were trying to make or want to make and where you want your career to go before Back in the day when truckers used to hop jobs, they used to hop jobs because there was a guarantee that I'm going to go from this company to this company, I'm going to get 10 extra cents. Then I'm going to go to this company after I get this experience here, and I'm going to make $1. Then after I get my total year of experience, or 2 years of experience, I'm going to go haul fuel. Got my doubles and triples, I'm going to go haul hazmat. Now I'm making $125K a year, and I'm good. Companies used to look for people that had that many years of experience in different kind of conditions. With waste collection, it's different. You gain your experience all in usually one company, and that's the company you really want to stay at because it's home. You make good money to live in your home. So again, have realistic expectations when you come into this career field or before you get into this career field. And I know it sucks if you're living in one of these cities where the waste collection people are striking. It's going to be painful, but these guys are striking for what they believe is right. If you are unsure, please look into it. A lot of this information is public. There are certain things that you can't know because you're not a part of the union or whatever, but look deeper into what they're asking for and see if it's unreasonable to you. See if it's unreasonable for the money that they're asking. See if it's unreasonable for their pension that they're asking for or their medical that they're asking for. Do your own research. So with that being said, runners, I'm up out of here. I got to get out this hot car because I'm starting to glisten and I'm getting kind of hungry and I got other things I need to do today. But I'm glad I was able to drop this Friday video for y'all. I may dive deeper into the first thing I talked to you guys about for my Saturday or Sunday video. But with all that being said, you guys stay blessed. For everybody that's watching this that are out there on the picking line, hey, you're fighting for what you believe is right and stay strong. And everybody have a great and blessed and beautiful weekend.